joining the revolution. We are once again broadcasting live from South Fork Ranch. And we have a huge show for us tonight. Coming up first, a rematch for the Revolutionary Championship as Damon Windsor defends again against Lance Hoyt. Let's go back to their first meeting 5 weeks ago. Travis, you and I were there. We saw this collision right here. Hoyt running in, knocking out the referee, and that opened up the opportunity for Windsor to try and capitalize here.
As we saw there, Lance Hoyt setting him up for his maneuver to finish off the match, but no referee to count the 3 fall. So there, once again, big Lance Hoyt measuring his man, and we saw the loyal follower of Damon Windsor get involved, and it was a very close encounter of the third kind.
Well, a big boot by Lance Hoyt again puts down the champion, but still no referee awake in order to make the pinfall. And then now we see the referee recovers, sees Lance Hoyt with the belt, and assumes that he was the one who made the collision to knock him out.
And that has now led us into this. This is the rematch here. Lance Hoyt giving a receipt there saying, if you're going to disqualify me for it, I might as well do it anyway. But now we get the rematch.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, your opening contest, second of all, is for the World Class Revolutionary Championship.
There we see the champion arriving, preceded by...
Being coming by Anna is current World Class Revolutionary Champion, Damon Windsor.
As I was saying, preceded by Anna Lynn. He is the Revolutionary Champion. Damon Windsor, the second son, the man who wants to convert the world to follow his beliefs. And he has certainly been very successful in his championship reign one way or another. But tonight, he's got a man that knows him very well. He came a hair's breadth away on a couple of occasions in that previous match from winning the Revolutionary title. And tonight, being on the challenger's home ground, you really got to think that Damon Windsor's back is up against the wall, and he's going to have to really dig deep in order to retain that Revolutionary title.
Well, one may think that, but let's take a look at some of the facts here. Lance Hoyt was the one that got disqualified in their last encounter, and Anna Lynn is always a factor to stay noticed here at ringside. So to say that his back is against the wall, I honestly think it's the exact opposite. Lance Hoyt has several other factors that he needs to worry about, and it's him that's backed up against the wall. Remember, there's always the championship advantage.
See the presentation there to the crowd as Windsor holds that championship high. Has been Revolutionary Champion for, I think, approximately 4 months now. Winning that title from El Fuego del Sol. No, excuse me, from Chandler Hopkins, who won from El Fuego del Sol. And that championship means the world to him. But,
you think he does rituals with that thing each night?
I really try not to think what it is that Damon Windsor does on his private time, because a lot of it just, he's a creepy guy.
From Dallas, Texas, the American Psycho, Lance Hoyt.
Here comes the man who often lives up to that nickname, the American Psycho. He's a man who has worldwide experience. He's a huge star in Japan, not just physically, but really on the star quality meter. Multiple-time tag team champion with his partner, Davey Boy Smith Jr. He's been in the WWE. He's been in TNA. He is an international superstar. He wants to come right here and claim this title. Well, not a man of many words. Lance Hoyt prefers to let the action speak for him. Is right there.
This ain't anything that we haven't been accustomed to seeing from Lance Hoyt. Lance Hoyt has no problem getting in a face, being somewhat rambunctious there to get his opponent riled up. He is one half of the Killer Elite Squad, as you have mentioned before with his success in Japan. This guy, I've always said, doesn't get the credit he, in my opinion, is just due. I've seen this guy back in his TNA days. I was impressed with him then. I'm still impressed with him now. This guy is indeed the big bad man from Texas, and Damon Windsor knows that Lance Hoyt is no slouch and nothing to take lightly.
Windsor handing the championship belt as well as his robe over to his disciple Anna Lynn. And there's very few times in the entire career of Damon Windsor that he has walked into a match where he does not automatically have a size and height advantage. This is one of those circumstances. Hoyt actually is, I believe, just an inch or two taller than Windsor, but certainly is going to be lacking in the experience advantage. However, Windsor, aggressive from the start, as he immediately takes over on Lance Hoyt, forcing him back in the corner, and right hands right to the side of the face.
A little bit of a hair tug there. Referee trying to acknowledge that a little bit. Irish whip gets reversed with a flying forearm from Lance Hoyt.
Hoyt now putting Windsor in the same position that Hoyt found himself in earlier, just raining those fists down on the side of the head as the referee counts to pull them out. In fact, I believe this is the same referee that was in charge of their match 5 weeks ago.
It very well could be. All I know is Big Lance Hoyt, the American Psycho, coming in with a train, if you will.
And Hoyt in the dominant position. Hoyt feeling very, very confident right here that he is on the path to becoming the new Revolutionary Champion. Hoyt with a kick to the midsection. Drops Windsor's face down across the knee. And goes around the ropes. Anna Lynn making herself known. And immediately, Windsor picks him up.
With a tilt-a-whirl slide slam there. Like I said, the Anna Lynn factor is nothing to forget about. Like I said, Lance Hoyt is the one that I think has his back up against the wall. Damon Windsor's the champion, and as I mentioned before, this is a champion's advantage. Disqualifications, countouts do nothing for Hoyt except give him a win. Not the title, just a win.
Well, Hoyt, if you didn't notice that, Hoyt kicked out. There it again. All this aggressiveness and all this brutality that Damon Windsor's laying out, and Hoyt still isn't staying down even for a full 1 count. There is a lot of power and a lot of intensity coming out of Lance Hoyt. This title means so much to him. Capturing this championship means so much to him. And I know he is now, if he wasn't before, he is going to be very, very aware of where Anna Lynn is on the outside, because apparently Damon Windsor understands he might not be able to get this done alone. As Anna Lynn moves in right there, right across the face, just a paintbrush. Not going to hurt Hoyt, but certainly going to irritate him and take his mind off the game. Windsor down again with the cover, and again.
Not even the count was able to be administered there. Oh, look at this. Listen to that. Lance Hoyt telling him to hit me.
Now we got some psychological games here, which is normally what Windsor comes in. Windsor with the intimidation game, but he doesn't seem to be able to intimidate Lance Storm to stay down.
Lance Hoyt, you mean?
I mean Lance Hoyt, I'm sorry, yes.
But David Windsor was more than happy to oblige the request of Big Lance Hoyt, just raining down those punches and a lethal forearm. Now we've got Hoyt backed into the corner here.
3 up to 4 before Windsor breaks. We got into 5. It would have been a disqualification, and like you said, Windsor would have kept the championship under that means. But I know that Windsor wants to be able to brag, because we both know Windsor likes to talk.
Well, he's chilling out right now.
Oh, okay. Straight in the face of Lance Hoyt.
I don't think you do that with an American Psycho.
That is not. I really question a lot of the decisions that have come here in Windsor's game plan. That decision, though, worked very nicely with the back elbow smash, putting Lance Hoyt down. Here's the cover, hooks the leg. 1. I think he got a full 2 count there.
Yes, referee did, I believe, acknowledge 2.
All right, so now the game's starting to work, and that's a blatant hair pull in front of the referee.
Well, you can call it a blatant hair pull, but if you look where Damon Windsor's right knee is positioned, it's right on the lower back area. So even though he was pulling on that hair, he was putting down the pressure on the lower back, stretching it out. Now, looks like a modified armbar there. Windsor now back up to his feet. just trying to, I guess, antagonize the fans more about their hero Hoyt being down and in a very vulnerable position.
Damon Windsor stalking his prey, waiting for Lance Hoyt to get to his feet so that he can capture him right there. Oh, Hoyt was nice drop kick there. Great, good vertical jump from Lance Hoyt.
You don't really get to see drop kicks from men the size of Hoyt, but when you do,
yeah,
they can impress quite well.
But it took a lot out of Hoyt as well. He suffered a little more punishment than I think either one of us expected here in this match. Nonetheless,
putting up fight though.
Fighting out of the corner here, waiting for Windsor to come charging in. Big shoulder block knocks the champion down.
Windsor's back up, only quickly to get knocked back down by Lance Hoyt.
Big clothesline there. Now, Hoyt, ripcord, pulls him back in. Maybe going Uranagi suplex, puts down the champion. Could we have a new one here? 1, 2, no.
Just barely though, barely. Hoyt's doing a lot with Damon Windsor there, a lot of high-impact moves where Windsor has been forcing Hoyt to exude energy with those early kickouts that we saw. Lance Hoyt's he's more apt to just bring down the punishment.
What's Hoyt doing now? He's going to the outside. He's got himself, I believe, a bottle of water. Well, maybe there's going to be a little bit of a return play here as Hoyt.
What's that old saying? Turnabout, fair play?
Yeah, that's true. Oh, he's waiting. Yeah, he's waiting for Windsor to get back up.
This is what he does over in Japan.
And again, a miscalculation on the part of Lance Hoyt, and now the referee once again is blinded, and Hoyt finds himself back in a very similar scenario to where he was 5 weeks ago. And who's coming in here? Who's that down there? That's PCO. That's PCO, who's now coming into this match, drops Lance Hoyt down, and did I see correctly? PCO has the JR's hat.
He does indeed, and
PCO's running out of here. That's the man who took the hat at the beginning of the show 2 weeks ago.
Where's Boone when you need him?
But now he's left Damon Windsor the opening. Windsor with the choke slam, and Windsor retains the Revolutionary Championship.
The winner of this match and still world-class Revolutionary Champion, Damon Windsor.
Well, by hook or crook, and I might just mean crook in the most common sense here.
I wouldn't let Damon Windsor hear that.
Damon Windsor has once again escaped with the championship.
You know, I was saying earlier we had to be aware of the Anna Lynn factor. I don't think any of us were expecting what turned out to be the PCO factor.
We knew PCO was in the building. We knew he was booked on the card, but I had no idea that he was the man behind the theft of JR's hat. And now for him to interfere here, what is his issue with Lance Hoyt? I don't know. We've really got to get some information about why he chose to do what he did there. But Damon Windsor proudly, as proudly as he can, holds the championship high. Fans, we're going to step aside and pay some bills. We'll be back after this.
Zoltar. Where's my bike? You know, don't you? Tell me what I need to know. I love that bicycle. Come on, Zoltar.
Now Zoltar's attention is yours alone.
Okay? Yeah.
I understand your possession that you wish to retrieve. But to follow the truth might be hard to believe.
Please, tell me. Where's my bike?
Just look below if you have to know.
In the basement of the Alamo. Thank you, Zoltar.
A legendary Zoltar there.
And the legendary basement of the Alamo.
Yes.
That's where the bike must be? Wow. Well, fans, we're now coming back to action in the ring. It is Rebel's birthday.
Oh, and look at that. And two lovely Texas ladies are in the ring.
And one lovely Oklahoma lady, too.
Who you talking about?
Rebel's from Oklahoma. She's from Owasso, Oklahoma.
Rebel is a Texas girl. She cheered for the Dallas Cowboys.
She's from Owasso, Oklahoma, sir.
Why are you interrupting Ty?
Rebel, I I adore you. On behalf of myself and all of these fans, I think we should sing happy birthday to her.
I'll sing happy birthday to her.
I'll say happy birthday to all three of them. I don't care what day it is.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Will you please go on a date?
Now, Barbie. Why is Barbie grabbing the cake?
I know, it interrupted my song.
First off, where are my streamers? No one has streamers for me, and my birthday is in a few weeks. Nobody cares that your birthday. This is supposed to be a championship match. Where did you even come from? You know, the funny thing is in a wrestling ring, whenever a cake is introduced, there's only one thing that can happen.
Well, Barbie does know her history, and it's true. Usually only one thing ever happens with birthday cakes in the ring. I experienced it once myself. I'm still getting that frosting out of my beard. But I guess that's not going to be taking place in this one. And I think maybe Barbie Hayden wishes that it had, because the match now underway. This is for the RCW Women's Championship with champion Rebel. Challengers Taya Valkyrie on the left, Barbie Hayden on the right. All three of these ladies, top-level talent. Was Taya Valkyrie making herself well-known on her appearances on Lucha Underground and Impact Wrestling. Rebel
Involved in the Diamonds Division tournament.
She is indeed. Rebel, of course, a mainstay of the Impact Wrestling Knockouts division for quite a long time as well. And Barbie Hayden with appearances in, I believe, in the Mae Young Classic last year, and has been in NXT as well. And now Rebel will try to German suplex Taya. Taya with a long-standing career in bodybuilding, and she's, she goes over there.
Yeah, by the way, I want to point out that you may say Rebel is from Owasso. She don't claim that because she knows that it's just crappy to claim you're from Oklahoma.
She comes and visits her family every year for Christmas. I can vouch for that.
Can you vouch for that?
I can, actually.
Okay,
yes.
I'd love to know that because, quite frankly, she is a Texas girl. She is a former Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, and that's where she has made her home. So we adopt you, you lovely Rebel from the great state of Texas.
Well, what's important right now is that she is the champion, but that is what Taya Valkyrie or Barbie Hayden wants to take away from her, as Valkyrie with a big boot to the face of Rebel.
That's a fluffy foot right there.
Yes, that is indeed true. And Valkyrie with a knee straight to that face of Rebel as she goes for the pin, hooks the leg too, and Barbie over barely able to break that, or this would have been a very short match. And Barbie Hayden wanted to add the RCW Women's Championship to her lengthy resume. She is herself a former NWA World Women's Champion.
Also from the great state of Texas, mind you.
She is indeed. College Station, Texas.
She is one of these people, like I was talking about earlier. She is not one of these, one-tooth rednecks that give us such a bad name.
A nice crossbody there by Taya Valkyrie. Do we have a new champion? And no, we don't. And we're going to have more of this match when we come back from these commercial breaks. All right, fans, we are back here. Action continuing in this triple threat match for the RCW Women's Championship. And there, Taya Valkyrie is greeted with a big boot from Rebel, but Barbie Hayden quick to follow up there.
Indeed, Barbie now wanting to take it to Rebel, the current champion.
You know, they say that the female of the species is more deadly than the male, Travis, and all three of these women, very, very dangerous competitors.
Well, absolutely. Haven't you ever heard the old saying, no hell have no fury like a woman's scorn?
Yes, and I've seen all three of these women on the receiving end of some of that scorned behavior.
Trust me, I've been on the other end of that scorned behavior, so I'd hate to see what it would be like to be on one of these three women's bad side. Even though there's really no bad side to any three.
I knew you were going to say that, and I figured I would just allow you to do it, let you have that opportunity.
I know you wish you had the opportunity.
Oh, there are times, sir. There are times. Barbie Hayden taking over now on Rebel, continuing to press the advantage on the champion. Again, the champion here, not really with the champion's advantage. Normally, if Hayden or Valkyrie were to pin one of each other, the championship would be lost by Rebel without her being involved in the decision. So it's very important for Rebel to maintain her presence in this match as she's doing right now, but she's been on the receiving end of those big knees right to the midsection repeatedly, and now Hayden going to lock in an abdominal stretch.
Well, and also let's add to that point of the non-factor of the championship's advantage. You can't be disqualified, you can't be counted out. There are no DQs, no countouts in a triple threat. So really, like you said, her presence always has to be well aware of what is going on in the ring.
And she's got to have eyes in the back of her head because these triple threat, these multi-person matches are so incredibly dangerous. Opponents coming for you from all sides. Looks nice, yes, beautifully done. Down, Valkyrie, here he goes, exactly what we're talking about. But no championship change there as Rebel to the top rope. What has she got in mind here? This is not what I think of as her normal area of expertise, but she takes both of her competitors down.
All three women are now back up, and Rebel's starting to throw those kicks there.
Yeah, those nice long legs that Rebel's able to execute those big kicks from.
Oh, those nice legs.
And a big double clothesline puts both challengers down to the mat. Rebel absolutely feeling it right now. As she calls on her, well, her cowgirl roots, be it from Texas or Oklahoma, it doesn't matter.
No, it does matter. She is not claiming to be from Oklahoma. She is a Texas girl, and yeehaw, cowgirl.
Definitely no concern, no question as to Barbie Hayden's origin here. As she executes a beautiful, well, not quite successful, but nonetheless a beautiful cradle suplex there.
You know, and as much as I like Rebel, and the fact that she's associated with my favorite professional team, I mean,
Oh, look at the knee! The knee right to the top rope.
the true Texan there, Miss Barbie, I can't help but go for her just a little bit more in this
Well, you're going to need to root for her a little bit more right now because she's going up and she's about to come plummeting down, perhaps right on her head. And she's not. Oh, space burst! The split-legged face first suplex and Taya Valkyrie at literally the last millisecond breaking that pinfall attempt up, or Rebel would have retained the championship, no doubt.
You gotta hand it to Rebel too. Rebel is not.
Taya just did hand it to Rebel, so she handed it to Rebel again.
Trust me, I'd like to be that hand on Taya at this moment in time. But anyways, I digress. As I was saying, Rebel, who has not been competing long in professional wrestling, has actually done very well for herself. As you can see, she is the current champion, but right now, she's about to get tied up in all sorts of problems here.
Oh, look at this. Valkyrie stretching Rebel back.
Wait, look at Barbie. She's got that cake from earlier.
Well, again, we said no disqualification. And, I mean, technically it's a foreign object, but like we said, it didn't matter. And you're right, Barbie Hayden with the cake in her hand.
Oh, and it's such a beautiful hand indeed.
And I think Rebel is about to get a birthday present she does not want.
Well, I mean, she did want cake.
Well, yeah, but I don't think she necessarily wants it the way that Barbie wants to give it to her. And no. Oh, it's always the birthday person who gets the cake in the face. But Rebel with the schoolgirl from behind, and Rebel retains the title.
The winner and still CW's Women's Champion,
Well, even though the cake was in the face of Barbie, we can still celebrate with Miss Rebel because she still has cake of her own.
And more importantly, she still has a title of her own. The RCW Women's Championship still in her possession. Barbie Hayden is not happy at all.
I wouldn't be either. Look at my poor Barbie girl right there.
Rebel and Taya are quite gleeful at the mess that is all over Barbie Hayden's face.
How dare they?
And look, oh, Barbie's sulking. Barbie's sulking.
Barbie's sulking. Look at her. She's leaving her alone. She is a beautiful woman and is humiliated.
She's gonna cry.
She's humiliated. The fact that you're even making fun of this is
I
horrible.
mean, she's eating the cake. Hey, let's check out. I hate to break away from this, but has Boone got to the basement? Has he found the bicycle?
I don't know.
the one, the only, Jake the Snake.
Well, fans, tune into World Class Television, you never know who you're gonna see. And right here, a true legend of the professional wrestling sport, Jake the Snake Roberts, has made his way to World Class.
Arguably one of the best psychologists in professional wrestling's history, a man that was known for his cunningness and slitheriness like the snake that he used to bring, Mr. Damien himself. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jake the Snake Roberts here at World Class.
Jake the Snake Roberts being greeted with a tremendous ovation by the assembled fans here. Of course,
fun fact for you, Vernon, Jake the Snake was one of my first favorites when I started watching professional wrestling. I'll get it out. Right next to the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase.
I remember Jake the Snake Roberts in Mid-South, where he invented the DDT.
Jake, welcome to World Class Revolution. Now, not only are you one of the greats, but you have one of the greatest minds in professional wrestling, and you were given the honor here to put together tonight's event, and I know you have some great matches for us tonight in Wichita.
You know, I looked up down the card, man, looked at the people that were involved, and, you know, you try to make the right choices. And sometimes, you know,
why is this going on? I mean, you got a legend here in the ring.
Hey, you got a legend in tag team wrestling right there.
Well, Trevor Murdoch, we've seen many times here on World Class Television.
Most recently, been tagging with Prince Mahali as one part of Devastation Reborn.
But right now, out here on his own, and I don't understand why it is he felt the need to come out and interrupt at this particular moment, but I'm sure he'll tell us.
Well, I'm sure Trevor Murdoch grew up watching Jake Roberts like most of us did. Probably wants to just come out and give him a nice greeting here to World Class.
I didn't come out here to pick a fight with you.
See? Just like I told you. Too paranoid.
Hold on a minute, folks. I'm a wrestling fan. Trevor Murdoch's in the ring with Jake the Snake. Let me soak this in for a minute.
Uh-huh. You can eat your words, Burnham.
DDT. Best promo guy in the business. You suck as a matchmaker, though.
We saw a great match earlier.
You come into the famous World Class and you take the toughest, the meanest MFer in that locker room, and you put me out there shaking hands with these goofs and signing autographs. I want a match tonight, Jake. I didn't dress up to come here and hang out with these folks. I came here to beat somebody up.
Oh, wait.
Well, you know, sometimes you ask for things and you get more than you wish for, and I have a feeling Trevor Murdoch is about to get more than he wished he would ever have, because here comes the World Class Heavyweight Champion, MVP.
He seems to be sporting a little bit of extra hardware.
That is the Big Time Wrestling Championship that he also holds, representing Big Time Wrestling over in the UK, which he won and then defended, and he won the World Class Heavyweight title in that title versus title match against Jack Swagger.
Check. First things first. You're right. It is one hell of a privilege and an honor to be in here with the legend, Jake the Snake. And you call yourself the toughest and the meanest MFer in the locker room. Well, I got 2 championship belts, say I'm a lot tougher and meaner than you. So, Jake, I think I can help you out with the problem tonight.
Well, please do, because, you know, whenever I look up and down the card, I make mistakes, but I'll tell you this. I didn't say ugliest, and you have that down.
That's uncalled for.
Jake still got it.
Damn, man. Your mama had to tie a pork chop around your neck just to get a dog to play with here.
Now we're just getting elementary here. That's not right.
Tell you what, Jake, if it's okay with you, we can make the match matches tonight. With your permission, I would absolutely love to take on Trevor Murdoch tonight. Both of these championship titles in the main
Both
event.
titles. I tell you what, it's not up to me, but it's up to these people here. I think it's unanimous, man. We have us a main event to talk about now. You ready to what? You want some? You want some? You want some? You want some? And we got some.
All right, well.
I do you one better. So far, I think the last 2 times I've defended these titles here at the Cotillion in Wichita, there was a Falls Count Anywhere match. Now, I know Trevor Murdoch ain't much of a pro wrestler, but you all have a hell of a problem. And I would be more than willing to kick their ass all over this damn thing.
Well, MVP is correct. He has a history. I think I know what the crowd wants here.
Kick his ass. Just let me get out of the damn way. Excuse me, I'm out of here. It's happening. You too. Man.
Well, there you go. I guess it's
Falls Count Anywhere. That's how MVP won the title from Jack Swagger. And I guess we're going to have that as our main event on the show tonight. Later on, MVP defending both the World Class and Big Time Wrestling Championships.
Yeah, but from what I understand here, Burnham, we have word that Dorothy's making her way.
Yeah, the Wizard. Yeah. What's her progress? Where is she?
We're off to see the Wizard of World Class. I might not be very smart, but I think we've taken a wrong turn.
Oh, this doesn't look right at all. Oh. What are you doing here?
Huh? I said, like myself, this paddle boat needs oil.
Well, we're about to see the Wizard. Maybe she can help you.
Pronouns, Dorothy. Gender equality. She? He? The Wizard? I'm in. Let's get the step. Come on. We're off to see the Wizard of World Class. We're off to see the Wizard.
We will get back to them after we have this match. But right here, what a big main event here. Trevor Murdoch, MVP, Falls Count Anywhere, and even MVP said Trevor Murdoch is a barroom brawler. He's a fighter of that nature, and it's almost as if MVP was inviting him into Trevor Murdoch's
wheelhouse.
Yeah, that's a good word for it.
I think that is a good word for it because that is stepping right into Trevor Murdoch's game plan. You think that's probably what he was just trying to sucker MVP into doing? Getting into this Falls Count Anywhere, no holds barred encounter.
Well, like I said, MVP has a history of success.
History. That's not what we're not here to talk about. We're not here to talk about the past. Let's talk about the present. The present of Trevor Murdoch getting his opportunity at the World Class Championship here tonight.
Well, you said it yourself, Trevor Murdoch, in your words, a legend of tag team wrestling. This is not a tag team match. This is one-on-one. And so stepping into what may be a comfortable area for him, but against somebody who has a lot of expertise in these matches, I don't know, maybe it's going to even itself out. I guess we're just going to have to see, and we're about to, because here comes the champion.
By the way, did that domicile for the Wizard, didn't it look a little familiar to you?
It resembled the Cotillion where we are broadcasting from here.
I felt like I had seen it somewhere before.
I'm still curious as to where they're going to find the Wizard there and who the Wizard is.
Do you think the Wizard is here? Do you think they're...
Introducing first, the challenger from Waxahachie, Texas, Trevor Murdoch. And his opponent from Miami, Florida, he is the current world-class heavyweight champion, Montel Vontavious Porter, otherwise known as MVP.
Well, you see MVP holding up the world-class heavyweight championship belt, now handing that over to the referee. So apparently, Travis, you may well be correct. I guess he did not have the authority to put the Big Time Wrestling Championship on the line. Nonetheless,
I mean, you're starting to learn that I'm always right.
Well,
I know, it's hard to believe it, but
once,
you know what?
Let's not say that once every 3 or 4 times is bad.
You know what else is once in every 3 times is getting jumped from behind, which is what MVP should have been aware of with Trevor Murdoch. Tough Texan right here.
All right, well, tough Texan, but not in this typical home area where World Class has broadcast so many of its events from. Nonetheless, MVP and Trevor Murdoch, this will be a tremendous main event, and this one is going to get out of hand. I can guarantee you, right now, both competitors in the ring, but before this match is over, they're going to take advantage of that Falls Count Anywhere air territory. And here we go right now, both men over the top rope, spilling to the outside. Now, if MVP were able to get over and to pin Murdoch out here, totally legal. That's what Falls Count Anywhere is all about. There are no countouts, as these two men are going to take this battle all over the cotillion.
Well, thanks for telling us something that we didn't already know, Burnham. You're obviously a world-class commentator there.
No, look at that! The fans getting up close and personal.
Oh, now that's just ridiculous. Where's the security? It's not, you can't have the fans getting involved like that.
I'm pretty sure they can.
I'm pretty sure they can't. Did you ever go
MVP slammed into that retaining barrier.
Like I said, you ever go to a show where the fans just reached up and smacked you in the back of the head for saying something stupid?
No, but I did once participate in a chain that will help with an abdominal stretch around in an arena in Miami, Oklahoma. That's a different story, though.
Oh, but you were a cheater then.
I was invited to help. That's all I can say.
Okay. Yeah. Potato, Burnham.
You can ask Flex Serba because he was part of that match. So, Trevor Murdoch now going to try to pick up MVP. Oh, MVP going to cut that one off. Not willing to end up risking a bad Saturday night, ending up on the top of that. Oh, well, he may be turning the tables here. And Murdoch may be singing soprano.
Now, that just is not an approach.
Is he wow. That's injury to insult.
Yeah, no, I would say that's injury to injury, Burnham.
And MVP not done yet.
Drive-by kick!
Yeah, knocking Trevor Murdoch right out into the fans. As we said, Falls Count Anywhere, and that includes out amongst the fan base here. And this is certainly where security needs to be out and making certain that the fans and the wrestlers are kept pretty well as distant as they can from each other.
Oh yeah, because they did such a bang-up job earlier when that little punk kid put his foot up on the guardrail.
You said bang up. That's exactly what Trevor Murdoch's face felt like when it landed on the bottom of that kid's boot.
Oh, shut up, Burnham.
All right, our camera's trying to catch all the action here as Murdoch now has got MVP across the table.
Yeah, no laughing matter now, is it, MVP?
I think one of the autograph tables that they set up for before the show, and now Murdoch seems to be assembling something, putting together a bunch of chairs. What's he got in mind here? He's dragged about 4 of them together.
Well, thanks, Captain Obvious, as if we can't count. Right now, Trevor Murdoch in firm control of MVP, and he looks like he's going to plant him with a suplex across all 4.
Oh, man, going to try to pick MVP up. If that's MVP able to block that, going to try to turn this around, maybe? Yes, indeed. Over and down goes Murdoch onto his own creation.
Trevor, you all right?
And MVP now over with the pinfall attempt. Referee having to avoid the chairs. And that may well have cost MVP the 3 count right there. Nonetheless, this match continues as MVP now going to go straight into the game plan of Trevor Murdoch. Another pinfall attempt. And Murdoch able to get that right shoulder up. MVP with those straight right hands. That's not technical wrestling. That's barroom brawling.
Yeah, and you know what? If we're still, I thought we were still operating somewhat under wrestling rules there. No closed fist, MVP. Such an honorable.
Oh man! And Murdoch just shoved MVP almost right into a fan there. There you see
that idiot fan. Get out of the way.
WCRA CEO Jerry Bostic trying to help out as well. As Murdoch picked up a chair and slammed it down. I guess you find that fine too. You're worried about closed fists, but I don't see you complaining about the chair.
Hey, it's no holds barred, and you weren't making any kind of complaints
If
with
it's
MVP.
no holds barred, then the fist can be perfectly legal.
Well, you know what? Again,
have a little drink there, MVP.
And maybe it'll wake you up a little bit, bring some sense back to you.
Well, apparently it did, because MVP with a straight right hand, which again seems to be legal, and Trevor Murdoch now may be wishing that he had kept to the back and taken the night off. As MVP, what's MVP got? Is that ketchup?
That is not ketchup. That's another soda bottle.
Oh, okay. I did once see ketchup used in a professional wrestling match, and I just was checking.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, this is absolutely just uncalled for.
Now MVP gonna give a little cold, refreshing.
That's an adult beverage, Burnham.
Okay,
That's what that was.
That's okay. All right.
And that was very insulting there. A true competitor is not going to do that. Now this is ridiculous here.
MVP with a big boot to the face. Oh, so close to a pinfall there.
Only that right shoulder, or excuse me, the left shoulder barely getting up there. This match has been out of control, crazy from almost the opening bell.
MVP now going to drag Trevor Murdoch around to another area, looking again for the concession area. These are the tables being upended, chairs, anything in the way. This match is completely out of control, and again, anything and everything can be used here. Falls count anywhere.
Yeah, drop it on him. Drop it on him.
Well, he certainly wants to, and Jerry Boston
Hey!
says,
Oh, wait a minute. This is no holds barred. What's the deal?
Apparently it's not no holds barred. It's just falls count anywhere. And you only go so far with that. You know, a beverage is one thing, but a full-fledged table, that's
Oh, but the
crossing
chairs
line.
were perfectly fine. You tell me the logic
That was
there.
Trevor Murdoch's idea.
Doesn't matter. MVP put it to use. What are you trying to get at here?
About to be on the losing end of things right here. Referee 2, and Murdoch not able to secure the pin there.
I think if Trevor Murdoch loses this, he has an argument for some biased officiating and some biased rule
Well, who's he
racing.
going to take that to? Jerry Bostic? Bostic was the one who pulled the table down off of him.
Exactly my point. I think that's what I'm trying to get at here, Burnham. The boss is getting involved when he shouldn't be.
Well, both these wrestlers now, one way or the other, making it back within the confines of the ring area.
Now Trevor Murdoch going back to work on MVP there. Rightfully could have ended this match just a few moments ago had it not been for our esteemed owner.
And Murdoch certainly in a superior position as he's going to go upstairs. This is not a comfortable area for Trevor Murdoch, but he seems to be feeling really good. Nice high cross body knee run. Oh!
You ever seen a cross body from Trevor Murdoch?
I don't think I ever have. And even Trevor Murdoch is a little surprised that was not enough to do the job. Murdoch maybe trying to wipe some of the vestiges of that adult beverage out of his eye.
Yeah, that's for celebratory. That is a celebratory drink that is not necessary for in-competition time.
Irish whip reversal here by MVP. MVP can try to go for the big drive. Again. That time it took one time of a miss, but the second time connected. And now both men laying out on the ring. And the first man who potentially can get to their feet here is certainly going to have a serious advantage. And I really think that MVP has taken most of the punishment in this match. He definitely took the majority of the punishment on the outside. If Murdoch can get to that vertical base.
It looks like he's working there.
Well, they're both pretty much at an even pace here.
Why the referee's even counting the 10, it makes no sense whatsoever.
Well, it's not a no count out in the ring. I mean, it's just falls count anywhere.
Falls count anywhere means that you win anywhere. It doesn't mean that they have to stay down. What are you talking about?
MVP with a straight right hand. Down goes Murdoch, another clothesline by MVP. Puts the big Texan down. MVP now looking to put this away. Oh, maybe he's going to go for the... Nope. Going to drive the knee into the face there. Oh, hang on. MVP peeling it. I think maybe we're about to go to the court because it's time. Look out, Travis. MVP is... Boom! Big elbow drop. to the midsection, and MVP about to put away Trevor Murdoch. Nice cradle suplex. Referee down 2 and...
No, barely the shoulder, but still. The only thing I've ever liked about MVP is that ballin' chant.
Well, MVP understands that he is on a roll here. He's got to keep this momentum going.
Yeah, don't showboat to the crowd there. You want to win, you better pay attention.
Oh, look out. Time for the play of the day. Playmaker over and done with. MVP hooks the leg, and MVP... No! He has put away so many people with that very move, and he couldn't keep Trevor Murdoch down.
That's because Trevor Murdoch is a tough Texan. That's why he couldn't put him down.
Well, MVP has got to find something to do here in the last seconds of the game. What does MVP have in mind here as he calls to the crowd? Oh, straight DDT! Straight DDT, just like our GM for the night, and that is enough to put Trevor Murdoch away.
The winner of this match, and still world-class heavyweight champion,
Well, it was a hard-fought battle. But at the end, the move that this man who was entering the ring right here created in 1981, Jake the Snake Roberts made the DDT famous on a professional wrestler known as the Grappler, and created a finisher that was devastating and feared throughout the entire world. And MVP knew that if he could hit that one, it would keep Trevor Murdoch down for 3. MVP still the world-class heavyweight champion.
Yes, and while it's a disappointing thing to see Trevor Murdoch leave without the world-class title, from my understanding, we're going to catch up with Dorothy and the rest of her comrades.
They've gotten to where they thought the Wizard was, but here's the Wizard. Who is the Wizard?
Is he here?